So let's talk about life. It's a reality of our existence that we are made of atoms. Atoms have energy, and we require energy to survive. We require energy to be in existence. We require energy for anything that is life. Because without energy, we become a rock, so to speak. And even a rock has energy. But the deal is that we are atoms, and combining atoms and creating atoms with thought is a highly complex thing. So, the idea of evolution is completely false. It has no value, no anything other than, this looks like that, and what does that mean? My life looks like your life. So what? So the university is not to be trusted in its entirely, because they don't even realize or recognize or admit to that evolution doesn't exist. And there are countless people who say evolution exists, but countless people can be wrong. As is, the constant of what human life is. We must decide for ourselves what we actually accept as true. We must decide for ourselves, because it is our life, it is our eternity, it is our choice. It's the freedom to be an identity called you. And we all have that, and we all need that, and we all must make decisions according to that. So what is true? And the answer to that, of course, is that every miracle proves an existence of life is more complex than we understand it to be. You cannot create a blade of grass, or a hair on your head, or the blood, or anything. And as far as evolution goes, you can't have a heart without muscles, and you can't have a heart without without blood, and you can't have a heart without something to feed it, and you can't have a life without lungs, and so on and so on and so on. Millions and billions and quadrillions of things must be in place before you can have a life in time. Time means that it's built of atoms, and atom means that it's measured, or it will come to its end when the energy is gone. And of course, that's what old age does to us. It proves that the energy has been used up. So therefore, it's our time to be lost to this planet. But the truth of our existence is that we are more than just time. We are more than just time. Time is a body. My body is made out of time. It's made out of atoms, and you can thank the university for proving that. Atoms actually exist, so we know that atoms exist, and therefore we know that we are compiled of atoms. And that evidence proves that there is a creator rather than anything else. There is no such thing as we just picked it off the shelf and decided to use it, and this didn't work, so we threw it away, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Evolution is wrong. And evolution is required learning, because, in this case, because they used evolution to describe themselves as being able to play with nature, to alter genetics, claiming that it's just chaos that created life, so therefore if they inject chaos, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. There's nothing about life or living or body that is chaos, until, of course, men make it war. And what they like about war is there is no law. War ends law. So the end result of that is that we do live in chaos, but chaos never survives. And at the end of a war, it's because men say, this is bad, this can't go on. No matter what the price is, we have to pay it and go back to law. And then, of course, they continue their surge to get more. And that, of course, becomes a case of playing games so that they can have more of anything and everything that they want, and the liars and the thieves and the traitors and the terrorists and all the rest come surging in and trying to create chaos out of law. Well, actually what they try to do is to take everything they can get by using the war of money. So the end result of that is that we end up going back to war because, all the people who lose eventually say, we have to do something, as is the current state of this United States. We have to do something because the universities have led us to a state of chaos. They have led us to a state of tragedy and dismemberment of the entire nation. They have led us to the extinction of life on Earth. Because, if you would take a tiny look, there's overpopulation everywhere, there's, pollution everywhere, there's resource destruction everywhere, poisons everywhere, weapons of mass destruction everywhere, and so on. And most all of it is the courtesy of the university helped make this. They were not entirely responsible. Humanity is, because they wanted what they wanted, and that's all they wanted, and they didn't want anything but what they wanted, and there was no price to me, and let the children pay and all that, as is the constant for the last 50 years. But as with all truth, consequences do have a cost. They do have a truth, and every truth has a consequence. And the consequence of what we have done as a world of humanity is that we have removed the chains and the things that keep us alive on this planet. We have assaulted and killed and raped and ravaged them, ruined them, because that's what you wanted. You wanted a life that was free, just like people who want war. They want a life that is free, and they believe that they can destroy chaos or create chaos to remove the law so they can have whatever they want and take it. They just want to take it. They don't actually want war. They want to take what you have. And of course you don't want them to take what you have. So I end up with people like Trump who say, all we need is a simple solution here. All we need to do is, lie and cheat and steal, and we can go ahead and remove them with war. Well, it's just another Hitler, another Stalin, or whatever you want. History is filled with the same people who found a way to lead, because the end result is that people want to change. And the universities created maze after maze after maze to delude and manipulate and lead you into chaos. Because when you have chaos, there are no rules. Imagination leads. And of course the university is all about what imagination can do, what fantasies can be, what delusions can we use to alter the case of what is true. And the end result of that is that we don't have the option to make any other choices. Now we have to deal with reality. And the reality is there are too many people. We have to make that change. There are too many resources being destroyed. We have to make that change. There is war everywhere, sitting on the edge, because the competition is getting extreme. The resources are getting scarce. Pollution is everywhere, and so on, because those are what you chose. And you wanted it because it's greed. More, 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 more. That's what I want. More, 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 more. Let the children pay. Don't come questioning me. I don't want to pay. Let the children pay. More, more, more. And of course, let government pay, which is just let the children pay. And then of course that wasn't enough, so there was counterfeiting. More, 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 more. But of course you can't just admit to counterfeiting. You have to hide it, like criminals do. And that's hidden in largely Wall Street, and that's hidden in university gets every toy that they can think of, and it's hidden in all the thieves get everything they want, and liars rule the planet, and everything that is the trash and the traitors and the failures and the things that are bad for us. We have to accept truth decides. Not me, not you. Truth decides. Because without truth we don't decide. We don't survive. So, what is true is true. And what is true is that we cannot survive the things that you have been doing. And for 50 years I tried to teach you these things are bad for you. And of course, tried to teach you that consequences are going to come out of this. And you would have none of it. You just wouldn't have any of it. That's how it is. So today we have consequences. And today, in real terms, the way of men, or the way of me, have proven to be irrelevant and useless. You won't learn. And so I turn to the alternate of that, look at that from a different view, and a different view is what would women do? And they are very, very different to us. They are, a completely different force. Atoms are built upon the idea, or more correctly, the reality of force that is movement or pushing away, and force that is pulling in. Because without balance, there is no time, there is no future, there is no nothing. We have to have balance. So to get balance, we have to let what is needed most be in charge, because that's just how it is. We have to, and be in charge is men push out for war. That is their solution. That is their only solution, as history does prove. Women pull back, and they have to have the law because only the law can protect them. So we have to have, and without law, there is no world. We will be extinct, because men who create a war create the weapons of mass destruction to be used, and the end result of that is that we're going to die. We're going to be exterminated. There won't be anything left for us to use. There won't be anything left for us to do. There won't be anything left except for hate, and of course cannibalism. Because you killed everything else, we eat about 3 trillion pounds of food a year, as we are today. And that fact is, we eat life. Without life, we have to eat ourselves. And, or die. Just give up and die. Who wants to do that? You don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. But that's where we're going, because that's what the end result of World War III will be. And we stand at the edge of World War III, believe it or not, in countless ways. I review the addition of Trump as a leader of this nation to be the beginning of World War III. We have all the makings, and everything is set up for that. Because this United States elected him because they wanted a simple solution to get rid of the university. And the university has been a tremendous, terrible thing in leadership for this nation. They've thrown away everything, they've hidden everything, they've manipulated everything, they've hidden, they've stolen everything. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible choice. But simple is a terrible, terrible choice too. You can't have just plain simple. We have to find a balance. We have to use the law. Without law, there is only war, and war will end in extinction. So we have to find a way to enforce our law, to create our law, to be what law requires us to be, and to identify as a world that we are going to live by law. And of course that means that we have to, in this case, since you won't learn, you have to be led to law. I don't understand why you have to be led. Why don't you learn? But you don't learn. So you have to be led. And it is, the spiritual female part of me that tries to lead you now. Not to any kind of servitude or slavery or anything that men have always wanted. I don't want any of that. None of it. And I certainly don't like to lead you at all. You can't blame me for what you are, what you chose in the past. I tried to talk you out of it, but you wouldn't. So here we are. You have to choose better. If you don't, we will be extinct. And of course, women are no better than men. But the end result is men choose war for their final decision, and women choose law because they have to. I don't know if they want to or not. You know, I'm not a girl, so I don't know. So, but women choose law because they have to. And we need people who choose law.